a queen adjusting her crown. She been knocked down, but she never stayed down. She been living life like it's her playground. And they be like, damn, slow down. They can't catch us, she be moving too fast. She can't wait up, she be all in her bag.
It's February. It's Black History Month. What does that mean to you guys?
Excuse me?
Black History Month.
We need a longer month.
Black History Month? We need
like
the whole year.
We need a longer
Black History
month.
Year. How about Black History Year for 1 year?
Yeah.
Out of every 2 years. 1 year, Black History Year.
All right.
Boom. Where do you think the kids are getting their Black History now? Did you get it in school?
No, I didn't get it in.
Oh, sorry, sweetheart. Oh, you take
Did you get Black History in school?
No,
Where did you get
I
it?
didn't. I get it in my school. I was taught it by my parents and my grandmother and people who really knew about Black
I'm the
history.
madman. What are you saying?
Where'd you get your Black History Month?
Good night.
Good night. Peace.
Good night. See you later.
Okay.
Thank
a
you
lot,
so
guys.
much.
What's up, y'all? It's Black History Month. I had to start off my video with my mama and my raggedy stepdaddy, but that video is priceless. Yow. Every time I hear yow, it takes me out. So yes, it's the first day of the greatest month ever for multiple reasons. But you know, I'm black every day, but this month I'm blackity black. Okay. So, you know, I got my black mixed with magic shirt on, you know, because for real, Black girl magic is a real thing. Fight your mama if you're not a black girl. That ain't our fault. We got the magic. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I hope y'all are enjoying y'all February. I hope y'all are off to a great start. Now, I know I am. Hey Angela. Hey Paris. I know I always go live when you eating, but I just got done eating. Hey CC. Hey AK. Tanya said, "How was dinner, girl?" Dinner was fire. So let me tell y'all. I thought I was going to be able to have a cool little, easy dinner because we are expecting a winter storm. The kids are out of school before they was even out of school. Like, y'all know, like back in our day, when it was a snow day, we had to wait until that day, and then we had to sit and watch the news to see if our school district or our school will pop up at the bottom. I always went to a charter school or a private school, so I had to literally wait until that individual school name popped up. That ain't how it goes. Around 2 o'clock today, before the kids was even out, the school had already texted, emailed, and called me to tell me that they will not have in-person school tomorrow or Thursday because of the inclement weather. How y'all know? Y'all know the meteorologist is the only people paid to get the weather wrong. How y'all know? It's crazy. So kids they got school, but they have literally 1 hour of virtual school. That is more of a pain than them just being out of school. I kind of was like, just cancel it, because that 1 hour, it takes us about 30 minutes to get set up. I'll be over it by the time the lesson is already pulled up on them dang on iPads. Like, it kills me. But whatever, So pray for us. Hopefully it's not that bad. But out here, we don't know. Like where I live, they are slowly migrating our power lines to be underground. But the block that I live on, the power lines are above ground. So every time it snows, our power goes out. Well, not every time it snows, but y'all know when we get like real bad snow and ice, our power goes out. So just hope that our power don't go out, because I ain't got time to be leaving my home. I don't. Yes, AK, 1 hour. literally from 9 a.m. to 10. What is that gonna do? What is it? 10:15. I'm sorry, 1 hour and 15 minutes. But yeah, it's aggravating as hell. And then what else? Oh, so yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking that we was gonna have a cool little easy dinner. I was gonna make chili because y'all know that is the Black History Month winter weather meal. My husband like, can you make fried cabbage, macaroni and cheese, and some cornbread? It's a blizzard coming. You want those things? So y'all know I make my macaroni and cheese from scratch. You know, I have to get the evaporated milk. I gotta sit there and whisk. I gotta shred the cheese. So that's why y'all having a late live. I really tried to make it earlier today. I really did. But hey, I'm here now. I'm here now. And if y'all did not see my disclaimer was already up. So I want to be very clear. If y'all was not in my live earlier, YouTube demonetized it. So it's under review to be put back up. But earlier today, we discussed Bridgeport, Connecticut's police department and how their mayor spoke out in regards to how he was disappointed in regards to what the police department did when investigating 2 Black women's cases. And the Black women was Brenda Lee-Rawls and I believe that's her last name. I keep butchering her last name, so I apologize. Let me make sure I have her last name correct because I keep doing that and I don't want to mess up her name. I know it's Brenda Lee-Rawls, not Knowles. So Brenda Lee-Rawls with an R. And of course, Lauren Smith Fields. So for the life of me, I could not figure out how these 2 women both passed away on the same day. Both of their cases was never processed, never investigated. Neither one of these families were ever alerted about their loved one or their next of kin passing away. Like it was weird to me. And what I also found was weird that the mayor has spoke out about it, y'all, because I don't know how every state does, but out here where I live, it's not really the mayor that really gets involved in too many things, especially regarding like police matters. We usually hear from like the chief of police. Like that's usually who we hear from first, and then maybe the mayor. And then if it's really, really bad, we hear from the governor. So I was looking for a statement from the chief of police before I was looking for a statement from the mayor. And I'm not saying that like, oh, the mayor shouldn't have spoke up, but I could not figure out where the chief of police was because again, he or she is the one that is in charge of this police department. It's their belts on the line. So I'm like, where are they at? It's kind of like the CEO of Walmart not speaking out, but allowing like the mayor to speak out. That's just my opinion. That's the way that it wasn't registering to me. So someone by the name of India, my good sis, my homegirl, she had dropped in my comments and she said that the police department was corrupted. Like she has heard things about them being corrupted. And that just was ringing in my ears. So y'all, I went to good old Google. I mean, there is so much power in Google, but it's real power when you know how to Google. So upon me just Googling just random easy things. I'm talking about like Bridgeport, Connecticut police complaints. Bridgeport, Connecticut chief of police. Bridgeport, Connecticut popo. Bridgeport, Connecticut Facebook. When I say the amount of what the popped out, like it's to the point where I was like, I'm gonna have to cite everything that I'm about to show you guys, just so you guys can know that this is real deal. This state and city is corrupted is a nice word for it. It's real. When we talk about like when we were questioning how could they get away with this, remember that was like the rolling question of how could they get away with treating Lauren Smith Fields' family like this? How could they get away with this? Remember that was like what we could not register. Let's just put it like this. They got away with it because this whole entire city, state, police department, in my opinion, is jacked up. And I'm saying jacked up to be nice. It is jacked up. There's no reason why the things that I have found are even exist. And it goes from allegedly the police department beating up men in wheelchairs. It goes to the chief of police cheating and scamming on the very exam that made him the chief of police. The mayor is was convicted of 16 counts of 16 felony counts. I'm like, all this out here, and mind you, this same mayor is still the mayor. I was like, what? So the corruption really goes deep, India. Like, I'm talking about from the mayor on down. And there's a main reason why we did not hear when I said I was looking for the chief of police. I was just looking just because I watch this stuff all the time. So when I'm looking for the chief of police, I literally Googled Bridgeport, Connecticut chief of police. And this is what I found. One moment, child. Let me share my screen. Let me share it for y'all in mute. Y'all about to see the things that I found on simple Google.
Meet Connecting, quick and simple scheduling app.
Back to that breaking news. Bridgeport's police chief is facing charges this afternoon. He and the city's personnel director are accused of rigging the exam that helped make him police chief. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in Bridgeport, Connecticut with the details. Marcus?
And Sade, an amazing fall from grace for the chief of police in Connecticut's largest city, set to be released on bail here from the federal courthouse where he was arraigned just a short time ago on fraud and conspiracy charges. 64-year-old Armando A.J. Perez has been the chief of police in Bridgeport since 2018, signing a 5-year contract that included a payment of $300,000 in accrued leave. But Perez and David Dunn, the acting personnel director for the city, are accused of hatching a scheme that rigged the search for police chief. According to prosecutors, Perez was given a draft copy of the exam, allegedly enlisted Bridgeport police officers to write the written portion of the test for him. And according to court documents, Perez was caught on tape asking an officer to sneak into police headquarters to retrieve files that had the material, allegedly saying, quote, "I'm running out of time." Additionally, the chief is accused of lying to federal agents in relation to the criminal investigation by the FBI. Perez was arrested today. He is to be released on $150,000 bail. He has surrendered his passport and firearms, faces up to 20 years in prison, and his next court appearance will be September 24th. Still no official comment from the city of Bridgeport regarding this arrest. And we're live in Bridgeport. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
So like I said, that was literally the first thing that I found. And to most, they'll be like, okay, but why is that a big deal? Throughout this live and throughout the things that I found, the reason why this is a big deal is because it shows a very, very, very bad pattern. And it only affects the people that live in this very city. So when people say, oh, that doesn't mean anything, it does, because morally, this man is supposed to uphold the law. He is supposed to enforce the law, right? Meanwhile, he cheated on the very exam that was going to allow him that opportunity, which means he is not morally correct. It's the same as a nurse or a doctor. When they do things, they are looked at, their values and their morals are looked at. They sign an oath. And the police officers do as well. So if this man was going to cheat the system, you can best believe that he was going to cheat his very citizens of his community. I don't care what anybody says. That is the way that it goes. That is what we've been taught to know. And that is what we're going to stick to. In order for him to uphold the law, he has to be a good law-abiding citizen. He has to have morals, and he has to have some type of dignity and standards. If you are competent, there's no reason why you need to cheat. Ask for pictures of an exam. And mind you, this just went down in 2020. He was barely the chief for 2 years out of a 5-year contract. So while he is facing charges, we do have a stand-in chief of police. They have not appointed a new chief of police. This woman, her name is Chief Garcia. She is only a stand-in. So that is the reason why we did not get a statement from the chief of police. There ain't one. There's not one. There's not. And that is why. So, like I said, the only thing that I'm presenting to you guys is just a nasty, serious, concerning pattern. But we're going to wrap it up at the end, and we're going to talk about the importance of why you need to vote and why you need to know who and what these people stand for in these seats that you're voting for or that you're not voting for. It's so much. But I'm telling y'all, like this, let's put it like this. After finding out the things that I am presenting to you guys, I am not surprised at what has taken place and why it is almost 2 months into this and there is nothing happening for these two women. So, after I looked up the chief of police, I could not for the life of me remember the mayor's name. I couldn't remember it. So all I did was put in Bridgeport, Connecticut mayor because I just needed his name to talk about him in today's video. That's it. That's all. When I Googled that, this is what popped up. So I'm going to show you guys what exactly popped up when I Googled Bridgeport, Connecticut chief of police. One moment. Or not chief of police, Bridgeport, Connecticut mayor. I'm going to share my screen just so you guys can see that this is all public record. This is not something that I have made up, defaming, or anything. I literally was just exercising my right to use the internet that Beyonce has so graciously provided us with. And so, of course, when I Googled, if you guys can see my screen, I Googled Bridgeport, Connecticut mayor up here, and it says Joe Gammon, but it says since 2015. And right to my right, it says Joseph Peter Gammon is an American Democratic politician, former attorney, and convicted felon who is currently serving as the mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut. I was like, what? I was like, huh? Like literally that my eyes drifted over there. And mind you, it's Wikipedia. So of course, initially I thought it was some type of funny joke. Like I'm like, surely the man is not a convicted felon. Surely he's not. Surely he's not, especially when I looked him up more, I seen that he actually has been the mayor off and on for a very long time. But I'm just showing you guys what my good Google showed. So a convicted felon, he was serving 6 times from 1991 to 2003. But remember, over here, it shows 2015. So where did that gap go? Well, it looks like he resigned after being convicted on federal felony corruption charges. Yes, you heard me. Yes. Yes. That right there was like, huh? Like, you have to be joking. So naturally, what I did was I looked up what the good old officer was convicted of and why. And so I'm going to show you that here. One moment. Let me share my other screen. And it was 16 charges, you guys. And again, this is all public record. I am not making any of this up, but all of this is alleged per public record. You guys know why I'm saying that, because I am COA, covering my ass, okay? So, according to the New York Times, Bridgeport mayor convicted on 16 charges of corruption. It reads, a federal jury today convicted Mayor Joseph P. Gammon of Bridgeport of racketeering, extortion, bribery, and mail fraud, among other felonies, for his role in a 6-year scheme to shake down city contractors for more than $500,000 in cash, meals, clothing, wine, and home renovations. According to the New York Times, it says, in his 12 years as mayor, Mr. Gammon, 43, attracted big development to a defeated downtown, and was once considered the state Democratic Party's best chance to defeat a previous governor in 2002. But today's conviction appeared to be a career-ending blow for a politician whose appetite for luxury, thoroughly documented by prosecutors and their witnesses at trial over the past 2 months, exceeds his ability to acquire it legally. So it's basically saying that he is allegedly someone that likes to, yes, India, I'm going to get into it. This man is still the mayor. Yes, I simply Googled the mayor, and it fell on my lap that he is a convicted felon. And he had to step down of his previous term back in 2003 because he was convicted of these crimes. But again, in 2015, he was reelected. And we're going to get into that next because I have those statements saying why and how he got reelected. So it looks like he was, it says, the 12 jurors, after a week of deliberation, convicted Mr. Gammon on 16 of 22 counts, 1 count each for racketeering, extortion, racketeering, conspiracy, and bribery, 2 counts of bribery, conspiracy, 8 counts of mail fraud, and 2 counts of filing a false tax return. Mr. Gammon, whose lawyer said he planned to appeal, is scheduled to be sentenced by Judge blah, blah, blah on July 1st. He faces up to 126 years in prison. Racketeering, extortion, and racketeering conspiracy represents 20 years each, as well as the $500,000 in restitution and $4 million in fines, according to a spokesperson for the United States Attorney's Office. Mr. Gammon is the 12th person or company convicted in a 6-year scheme to force contractors bidding for city's businesses to pay bribes to the mayor and his friends and associates. The 11 others include 3 of the mayor's closest friends. They also pleaded guilty to far lesser charges over the past 2 years. So this was a huge scheme. This was not something that was done within 1 year, 2 years. This was a very long going crime that he committed, and he used the funds from the very city that he is supposed to be representing, advocating for, and funding. He stole funds, bribed, and did racketeering, all these great conspiracies for himself. There was no other part to it. He was not taking funds to do something else good for the city. He was taking funds out of this city to basically feed his own self. Now, I could not, let me actually look up. I'm not sure if he did any time. I'm not sure if he did any time, but like I said, I was like, wow. And I could not believe that he was still the mayor. Like, I had to look up. I was like, maybe it's his brother. Maybe, like, this could not be the mayor that just made the statement yesterday talking about he's disappointed. And again, I'm only showing a pattern because it is a moral thing. It is you guys, we really have to do our part in looking into these very people that represent us because it is getting scary. So, like I said, back in 2003, he was convicted of all of these felonies. But we know that as of 2015, he is now the mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut again. How did that happen? Why so? Well, I looked up the official website for Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I just, found the article that talked about him. And this is what it reads. So this is the official Bridgeport, Connecticut website, like I stated. It says the mayor, Bridgeport Mayor Joseph Peter Gammon is in his 8th term as mayor of Connecticut's largest city with a population of approximately 147,000 people. After campaigning on a platform of open government, reducing crime, improving public schools, reducing property taxes, and growing the economy and job creation, Mayor Gammon was elected by a wide margin on November 3rd, 2015, to a position he last held in 2003. He continued to serve as mayor, as he was reelected in 2019. Mayor Gammon has served 6 previous terms as chief executive of Bridgeport from 1991 to 2003, and in so doing accomplished several important things for the Park City. Mayor Gammon led the city out of municipal bankruptcy by overcoming a $21 million budget deficit and a 5-year projected deficit of $250 million. Mayor Gammon tenures ushered 10 consecutive years of balanced budgets and a surplus of $58 million. This was accomplished by implementing difficult cost-saving measures and innovative revenue-raising techniques. This included negotiations with city labor unions. Sound familiar? To achieve concessions and savings of more than $20 million in labor costs without laying off any employees. So that's just basically what the city had to say about their mayor. The things that they were saying about their mayor versus what he was charged with is like, how did he get reelected again? I didn't even know that was possible. How exactly, CC? How did he get out of jail time? Like this stuff, it just shows a pattern, and it's a very dangerous pattern. I don't understand how he was even eligible to be reelected. Let me look up. Let me see if he was found guilty. 1 second. Yeah, he was acquitted of 6 charges. We already know that. He had to surrender his law license because he was a previous attorney. Yeah, he did go to jail. So he was disbarred, and then he requested for reinstatement. It looks like allegedly he applied back in 2014. They denied it to have his law license restated. And then it looks like in 2017, he applied with the U.S. District Court for permission to practice in that federal court without being readmitted into the Connecticut bar. I don't know how he became mayor again. I'm looking this up now, you guys. Yeah. He was eligible to apply for mayor again, and of course, since 2015, you guys know that he has been. He did do jail time. He was not acquitted of these charges. He was not. No, he was charged. So for me, it's just like, this is crazy. This is weird, and I hate to sound like I'm grasping for straws to try to like draw some type of conclusion. No. I am just reasserting my initial sentiments about something regarding the lack of empathy, the lack of policy for Lawrence Smith Fields and now Brenda. There's something wrong, but what's really wrong is this has been going on. This is a problem that has been a problem. This is not something new. And unfortunately, it cost the life of 2 women and 2 families that are supposed to be grieving to bring awareness to a bigger issue. Y'all, we've only talked about 2 people. In 30 minutes, I've only covered 2 people, the mayor and the previous chief of police, and both of them are dirty, allegedly. In my opinion, they're dirty. I just feel like I would not trust you to help me when you out here stealing. The worst thing you can be, in my opinion, is a thief. But yes, India, in my opinion, I feel like the whole city is corrupt. It starts from the top. The fish rots from the head, or however the saying goes. That's just how I feel. So like I told you guys, I literally Googled all this information. All of it is right there for you guys. I didn't type anything special. My family seems to believe that I have some type of superpowers because I always find the craziest stuff on Google. But I promise you guys, I just read. I just Google and read. So I Googled Bridgeport, Connecticut Police Department complaints. And I found this website that had complaints on it. And it's called Pissed Consumer. So we're going to go over some of the complaints so you guys can see how the very citizens of Bridgeport, Connecticut feel about their police department. Here we go. Okay, so they only have 3 reviews on this website, but I also have the Facebook page, and we're going to pull that up so you guys can see what the people had to say. So back in 2017, someone wrote, police officers were rude. The police officers started to yell and came off hostage. I think he meant hostile. They need to stop being aggressive when they are being shown respect. Also, was asked why I stopped at a red light. Thought it was law. I guess the officer didn't know that. So someone replied to his comment in 2021 and said, I would suggest anyone out there who has a criminal or civil case involving the Bridgeport Police Department, and especially if these officers are involved in your case, I would hire a competent and private attorney to look into your case. If you or your loved one has already been convicted and these officers are involved in the case, I will file an appeal and have it reopened. Someone else wrote, review in government and politics category from Bridgeport, Connecticut. They said, hi, my name is Lori, and I am a personal friend of Mark. Mark is a police officer right here who was involved in a police misconduct. Stop bashing him. He upholds the law to the fullest and would never approach anyone without just cause. Not his style. I would personally defend him to the max. I, for one, believe without a doubt, these people cannot spell, that if he approached this individual, there had to be a reason. Are you in a drug-infested area, high crime area, near a school, hanging around for long periods of time? To sum it up, there is something you are doing to make him approach you. So like I stated, this Mark is this officer right here. They were basically saying that this officer allegedly has a whole bunch of misconduct under him, and a lot of people have complained about him. A lot of people have complained about this alleged officer named Mark. And that took me down a new rabbit hole. So like I said, all I did was once I found one thing, I re-Googled something else. Once I found that, I re-Googled something else. And I was seeing a lot of alarming information. India said, oh my God, I need to search my city. I absolutely agree. I was just talking to my husband. I actually know the mayor because his ass grew up in our hood. So he ain't, I'm just playing, he ain't grow up in our hood, but people be making fun of him. But anyway, I feel like we need to Google everybody. We need to Google everybody that is in the office, from police chief on up. Like, we need to be in the know, because this is very, very scary that this one particular area is having this much drama and no one has stepped in. They have not even corrected the error of their ways. But the mayor had the nerve to say he was disappointed. That's all he could say. He didn't say we have trained them, we trust in them. But we'll get to that, because there's more. There's always more when you watch Always Talking with Audrey live. It's always more. So once I read the complaint about this officer Mark, all I did was type in Google, Bridgeport, Connecticut Police Department misconduct. That's all I typed in, because I didn't know who this officer Mark was, and Mark is a common name. I wasn't gonna go down a rabbit hole and try to figure out this officer Mark. So I just typed in that, and I actually found an article about Internal Affairs report cites 17 cops for misconduct, and this happened back in 2019. So again, I'm telling you the dates for all of this because this is not that long ago. I mean, hell, we've been in the panorama for 2 years, so we can wipe out 2001 and 2020. 2019 was yesterday in our eyes, because this panorama, blink, we lost 2 years. So this is happening back in 2019. I'm going to show you guys the article. And again, I'm showing you guys these articles just so you guys can see just how easy it is for you guys to find this information. And just so you guys can know, which I already know, I'm not in the business of making anything up, but I want you guys to trust my word, but see it for yourselves. So this is an article that I stated was written back in March of 2019. And it says, this photo released in the Bridgeport Police Department internal affairs investigation shows Officer Daniel Ferroni with Pete Diaz in a wheelchair after an incident on Colorado Avenue back in 2017. So it shows that it shows like a list of these black and white photos that are really hard to see, but they're showing in these photos some type of abuse that took place to a man in a wheelchair. A man in a wheelchair. Like, what? 17 officers investigated by the internal affairs. That is a really, really big deal. So I was intrigued. The title intrigues me. Tanya said, this is the type of corruption happens all over Massachusetts and Connecticut. It has been happening for years, and I haven't lived there since the 80s. Nothing has changed. Wow. So this is, in my opinion, I am scared at this point. Like, places I would not go, places I would not raise my children would most definitely be Bridgeport, Connecticut, but I'm going to go that extra mile and look up my own city, because at this point, So it says 5 city police officers and a civilian detention officer used excessive force, and 10 officers lied about their actions in breaking up a 2017 house party. An internal investigation has determined. In all, the report finds Bridgeport Police Department rule violations and possible criminal activity by 17 police officers and 2 civilian detention officers who responded to a chaotic situation after a noise complaint. 46 officers responded, and police shut down the party back in October 2017. The 405-page report by the city's Office of Internal Affairs was released to the Here's Connecticut media on Wednesday. Blah, 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 blah. It says one of the officers accused in the report of using excessive force unalived himself in December while under investigation. So while the investigation was taking place, the main officer that was involved did unalive himself before the investigation was even done. And like I said, I'm only showing this because a lot of people are pro police officers. So don't think that I am on here bashing police officers. I'm not doing that. I'm literally presenting articles and stories that are found online about this very city. What you guys choose to believe in and who you choose to entrust. I'm not bashing all police officers by presenting this information. However, we're going to talk about this city's police department. So going back to it, it says Sergeant Mark, he also unalived himself on Saturday, was accused in the report of failing to supervise other officers involved in the incident and failing to provide medical attention to in the police department to the man that was arrested in the booking area. So it looks like all of these officers, like I said, it was 17 officers. One was cited for making a racial slur to one of the people arrested in the detention center. It was a lot of bad things, but the main thing was that allegedly there was a beating of a man in a wheelchair, and that is what was being investigated. If the officers were alive, they were indicted and they were released from their duties. 17 officers. So when I looked that up, I had to go to YouTube because I wanted to find some news reports about just the news clips about things that was taking place, because I was like, are they talking about this? Like, do people know about this? Because when I was looking up the stories about Lawrence Smithfields and even Brenda, when I was looking up the stories, I always go to social media to see what people in that area could be saying. And a lot of people was like, the police are petty out here. They are always getting on us about noise complaints. I guess that's a trending topic, allegedly. I'm not sure. That is just what a lot of people were saying on Facebook and on Twitter. But none of them actually was giving like real hardcore evidence or any, examples of what was taking place. So I felt the need to continue to look up things like that was probably shown on the news because maybe they don't know. So I accidentally stumbled upon, when I looked up the Bridgeport, Connecticut police, I found out that they had a whole live job fair for the police. They had a whole recruitment drive in 2019. They wanted to hire some people. So they had a whole job fair. And it tickled me because I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant to this. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Are y'all familiar with police departments having like job fairs to like hire people on and like find other officers? I'm not familiar with that practice, but I again have not looked it up past this incident. But it was scary to me to hear this. Like, what? So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for y'all just so y'all can know that I'm not making this up. One second. And of course, we can only guess who actually came up with this idea, and it was the Mayor Gammon. Yes, it was the nice mayor. He is the one that actually came up with this idea to do this, guys.
Out there that we want the best and the brightest and those that want to serve for the right reasons. We want you to apply. We want you to take the test. We want you to be successful. And we want you to be part of the next recruitment class here in the city of Bridgeport.
Today we're doing our great reveal for our recruitment for members of the Bridgeport Police Department or people that want to be members of the Bridgeport Police Department. We plan on giving a test in several months, and we are excited about the information that we're going to be revealing today, our recruitment drive, and our video. Come and join the Bridgeport Police Department. We are the biggest city in the state of Connecticut. We hit the ground running. We train at the top.
This is
and
the
we
stand-in
encourage you to
chief.
be part of those of us, that's what they call us Bridgeport's finest, to be a part of making impact and a change for our community, to continue building the relationships that we have and continue combating crime so that our communities are safe.
When does your shift start?
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 Make the shift to Bridgeport Police Department.
Make the shift with the Bridgeport Police Department.
So like I said, this was not a common practice that I have ever heard of. The lady that was speaking is the stand-in police chief for right now. But again, she did not make a statement regarding Lauren or Brenda. Only the mayor did. But if you guys wanted to know who the stand-in was, it is her that was speaking. Now, Tanya brought up a good point. She said in Los Angeles a few years ago, they did have a job fair for police officers. It's kind of common. I never knew that because I've never wanted to be a police officer. Let's just put it like that. Hell, I ain't never want to be a police officer, so maybe I didn't know. And nor have I ever had a friend. I do have 3 friends that are police officers. I never heard them say, hey, yo, yeah, I'm going to a job fair. I don't know what they did. Actually, I think they went to an academy. I'm not sure. I know I have one friend that's a firefighter too. So I'm not sure. But I only showed that to show that clearly if they are having a job fair, all this corruption is allegedly taking place. They are desperate for people to be in their department. Like, they need people. And I'm not saying that having a job fair is going to mean that whoever they hire won't be competent, but there are some competency issues that are taking place in this very city. And it's not any of the police fault. It's really the people that are in charge of the police fault, because they do not, they don't enforce anything. It's weird. It's weird. In India, I agree. She said, stand-in or not, ours should have made a statement. I agree. Like I said, I fell upon this. I fell upon this information just by doing simple Google searches because I had questions, and I really had questions about Lauren and Brenda. I didn't have questions about these people. It just fell on me. And like I keep saying, it's it's really scary. So the final piece of my information that I'm going to present to you guys is Facebook. Now we know Facebook, let me tell you, Facebook got the people in a chokehold. Like if you feel some type of way, you go to Facebook. That is what you do. That is where you exercise your right. And so I just typed in Bridgeport, Connecticut police report or police department because everybody named Mama got a Facebook page. Everybody. So I found their Facebook. Tanya said, you too can be a part of the Gambino crime family. Exactly. If you know you a little shady, I'm gonna have to have my cousin go to Connecticut. He would do the job. He would get the job done out there. But like I said, I looked up the Bridgeport, Connecticut Facebook just because I wanted to see what they were saying on there because I am a avid comment reader. If I ain't gonna do nothing else, I'm gonna read the comments. So this is their beautiful Facebook page, and you know they have 18K followers. They have some ratings. They have 546 reviews, and they have a 1.9 star rating. 1.9. I mean, like, damn, that's failing out of 500 reviews. So on the first post that was just made January 28th, they're talking about show emergency parking lots. And I was like, well, why would they have all these comments? And of course, people are in there exercising their rights to talk about justice for Brenda. Brenda Lee-Rawls and Lauren Smithfield sounds eerily racist. Do something. Someone else wrote, where's the justice for Lauren? Stop letting women be unalived by nice men and get away with it. And then someone said, how y'all publicize to all the thieves where they can go shopping? So basically she was saying, like, why would y'all post this knowing that people can break into cars? If you know, you know. So once I clicked on the reviews, hold on, please don't tell me y'all not gonna let me see the reviews. They're gonna make me log in. I purposely logged out for this reason alone. Okay, so on other posts, of course, every post that the police make, they are posting all things Lauren and Brenda. They want to get to the bottom of why this is not, you know, being resolved. Like everybody is talking about it. So I really believe that this is why. Let me stop sharing my screen because I forgot they were going to be showing firearms. But they are basically, you know, in there exercising their right, and the very people is calling out, asking these people, why are y'all not doing anything? Why are y'all not getting the job done? And I say all this to say, in this long, drawn out, this is what I found on Google episode. I say all this to say that it broke my heart. And the reason why it broke my heart is because something deep down inside told me that Lauren Smithfields and Brenda Lee-Rawls are going to be a part of the story, just like all of our other ancestors. And it sucks that these two women had to be violated, mistreated in their family for us to learn awareness about corruption in your city. And I wholeheartedly believe, like a lot of people want to talk about, oh, this Cardi B and Tasha K case is going to change the trajectory of things. I wholeheartedly believe, and something in me is saying that these two women is going to change the trajectory of what we do going forward when we think about who we're going to elect into the very seats of the people that are supposed to represent us. And I'm not saying this because I feel like it's some type of racism and this is a racist narrative. This is for everyone. If you guys can hold everyone accountable but the police, hold yourself accountable when you are not exercising your right to vote. Now, we always talk about, oh, vote for the president, vote for the president. No, vote for the motherfuckers that you got to deal with in your town. Vote for them. Get in the know about those election days because you guys actually have the voice and y'all can get motherfuckers out of there. There's no reason why Gammon has been y'all mayor my whole life, even though he is a 16 convicted time felon. That is not, in my opinion, there's probably a great mayor, someone that studied in your town, got straight A's, went to college, lived their life right, that is trying to be elected and has failed because you guys are failing to vote or you guys are voting for the wrong type of people. I'm not saying that it's Gammon's fault as to why the police failed to investigate these two women's deaths. What I am saying is that I don't trust Gammon. And I don't trust Gammon because he's a thief. I don't trust thieves. Why would I want my mayor to represent me and he's a thief and I'm not a thief? That's not good representation. And it goes to show that I can't be a thief and maintain my job. So why should you? And then it goes on to the chief. The goddamn chief had to cheat to get in the seat when I'm pretty sure that there was a good partner that was in that police department that was more than qualified, that did not have to cheat, that could have been in that seat and could have changed the outcome of all these affected families, because it does not just stop at Lauren or Brenda. Unfortunately, it's probably so many stories that we have not heard of with this police department and with the mistreatment of this community that we just don't know because they get lost. But I really wanted to bring awareness to it. I really, really did. Like, I was like, I don't care if this video gets monetized. I don't care how many people watch. I want to bring awareness because when you know better, you do better. I'm going to drop the link because I told you guys earlier that I want you guys to call in and share your thoughts about what you guys are seeing in regards to these cases. Like I stated in my previous video, Lauren and Brenda passed away on the same day, 2 blocks away from each other. So they lived in the same community. They are literally 30 years apart, 23 and 53. Neither one of their families were notified. Brenda's family is still waiting just to even know what happened. They found out through a neighbor that this lady had passed away, and it took them numerous calls to everyone to finally find out once Brenda was already under for an autopsy that she had unfortunately passed away, and they still do not know from what. And Lauren Smith Field's family is already planning to sue the Bridgeport, Connecticut Police Department for what they've done. I do not agree with the mayor's sentiments of only putting 2 detectives on administrative leave. I wholeheartedly believe that more people should be placed on leave. And I do believe that someone higher up needs to step in and there needs to be a wipe clean. Every case that has ever been opened and closed from, let's just say 2017 to be safe to now needs to be re-looked at, because I feel like there are maybe a lot of innocent people locked up, or there may be a lot of grieving families that are being told that they have no answers and their answers are in their face. Like, we never know, but it's quite scary that there's a lot of incompetent people in high seats. Tanya said, true, change happens at the local level. Yeah, it does. It does. Like, I know we talk about Joe Biden because I don't think the people like Joe Biden. But I wouldn't be complaining about Joe Biden if I had this type of incompetent. I mean, just think about the magnitude of what the police does. I mean, one of the reviews that I read on Facebook said that they don't even answer their phone, like the 911 line. I wish I could show it for you guys, but I'm not logging into my Facebook. But yeah, one of them said that they don't even answer the phones, that they hang up on you. So, and this was a review that was done from like 2019, I believe. So it wasn't something that I wasn't looking for current reviews, because I know that when things like this happen, so many people are going to leave reviews to attack the company because of Lauren Smith Fields and Brenda. So I wanted to go back to see if this was actually a trend, and it actually was. So I don't know, y'all. How do you guys feel about this? Like, if you are part of the replay gang, put in the comments, how do you guys feel? Make sure you guys look up your city officials, look up your police department, because I know I'm gonna be up all night. Like, I know the mayor in my city, the last time he was trending, it was because our mayor is Black and he married a white woman. Why was that trending? We don't know, but they be going at his neck on Twitter like, our mayor cannot tweet in peace. And it don't even be him tweeting. It'd be, of course, his secretary or something. But people in my city, they attack his ass because he's not old. Like, people like, mother, if I knew you wasn't shit in school, like, they just be really dogging him. And I'm just playing. Like, this is just funny humor. Like, I'm sure he doesn't take it seriously. But like I said, I be seeing them attack him. So do y'all see that happening on Twitter with y'all mayors? Because, baby. India says, shake my head. This is terrible. They need to do an overhaul of the local government. They should. They really, really should. If this stuff is at my fingertips and to the point where I was like scared, like, oh my God. I was thinking beyond Lauren and Brenda. Like, I was thinking like, oh my God, who's to say that this hasn't happened to someone else? Like, because like I said, this whole time, we never heard of Brenda. We just found out about Brenda 2 days ago. So that shows you guys how easy it is for these stories to go missed and no one talk about it. We still don't know anything about Brenda. And this happened at the same time as Lauren Smith Fields. I believe that Lauren Smith Fields really got a lot of popularity because she had some type of social media influence. She was a YouTuber and she was very beautiful. She was popular on Instagram. So I believe that's what really picked up her story. But if it wasn't for her presence on social media, I do feel like her story would have been missed just like Brenda's. I think that was the only key piece to the difference between how they were handled. But they even still, with her social media platform, she was still mishandled and they lied on her. They told the stories incorrectly. They failed to help the mother and the father of Lauren. So even with that, but I'm just saying, we only knew about her we only had pictures of her because she was popular on social media. So you guys, it's been almost an hour. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm getting tired. So I want to let you guys know that I'll be back. Hopefully, if my power don't go out, I'll be back tomorrow to give you guys more commentary on some other trending topics that we need to talk about and we need to be in the know about. So if you guys have not, please go ahead and like the live and subscribe to me on your way out. Share my videos. Let the people know that I'm over here spilling real tea. Okay? See y'all in my next video.
And thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Ms. Marcel. Yo, all props to you. And just you keep doing what you're doing. You got a voice. Keep doing what